Did you know that cornstarch stuck in the back of your cabinet is actually a secret weapon in the kitchen? Let me blow your mind by telling you that cornstarch can be a substitute for egg. That's right, you heard it here first. To replace an egg in a baked goods recipe, you just simply mix 1 tablespoon of cornstarch with 3 tablespoons of warm water and poof, you've got an egg. It doesn't quite look like an egg, but I'm gonna put it to work in this chocolate chip cookie recipe and see how they turn out. I've creamed together my sugars with some melted butter and vanilla. Now I'm gonna add the egg and the dry ingredients. It looks like chocolate chip cookie dough, but let's see how it bakes up. They worked. Looked like successful chocolate chip cookies to me. Did you know cornstarch can make your omelets fluffy? Here I've done an omelet a traditional way, and now I'm gonna see if cornstarch can make the next one extra fluffy. I'm gonna use 3 eggs. A little bit goes a long way, just add it to your eggs while you're mixing. All right, we've got our butter nice and foamy. We wanna do about medium heat. And we'll add in our eggs. Then I'm just gonna add in some bell peppers, bacon, and cheese. Looks to me like it works, but you be the judge. Keep that cornstarch on hand for breakfast because you can add it to your waffle mix to keep them from getting soggy. I've got 2 exact batches of waffle batter. One is made regular and it produces a great waffle, but sometimes they get a little soggy. So I'm gonna add a little cornstarch to the second bowl and we'll see how they turn out. Looks right. Does feel a little more toasted. See if you can hear this. I'd say 3 to 4 tablespoons per 2 cups of waffle mix is going to get you a crispier result. Let's compare the 2, shall we? Pushing them both down, and this one is definitely more soggy without the cornstarch. One of these waffles is soggier than the other. Cornstarch for the win. Next, you can use cornstarch to turn all-purpose flour into cake flour. All it is a mixture of all-purpose flour with some baking powder, and then you whisk in your cornstarch. You sift that together several times and you've got cake flour. Now it's ready to go in your cake recipe. We're going to the most popular use for cornstarch in my opinion, which is to thicken sauces. But maybe you forgot about it. Maybe you've been reaching for the flour. The cornstarch is feeling left out. Let's bring it back. The main thing to remember is that you want to whisk it into cold liquid. That way it dissolves really easily and then it won't add clumps into your gravy. So I've got some cold broth. You could just do water here. And then you want to whisk in your cornstarch until it's smooth, and then you add it to your pan sauce. Look at that. A quick pan sauce is all you really need sometimes to really make a plain old piece of chicken fancy. Speaking of thickening, cornstarch can also be used to thicken the filling in pies and coat the fruit. Typically, you would find that flour is used in this type of application, but where flour is, you can also add cornstarch. Just fill your pie shell and bake, and then you'll have a filling that's no longer runny. We interrupt our cooking to bring you a household use for cornstarch that doesn't involve the kitchen. Cornstarch can be used to untie knots, even the tightest knots. I've got this shoelace with this knot that I have not been able to get out, so let's see if this works. Simply sprinkle a little cornstarch onto the shoelace and rub it in, and the friction will help release the knot. Look at that. Well, I'll be damned, I'm about to go through my whole closet now. Did you know cornstarch is made from corn? Therefore, it's gluten-free, so cornstarch makes a great gluten-free fried coating. Just use it in place of flour to get a nice crispy coating. Today I'm gonna make some fried shrimp. Look at that coating of crispiness right there. Cornstarch can also be used to remove grease splatters from walls. This little tip can also be helpful if you typically use your Instant Pot against one of your kitchen walls. It might have a bunch of gunk splattered on it. Cornstarch will clean it right off. Add some cornstarch to a kitchen cloth and just rub it on the stain. Whoa! First you think it's not gonna work, but then it works better than expected. Look how this came right off. It used to look like that, and now it looks like this. Next, you can use cornstarch to dust your surface. This tip is perfect if you're somebody that works with fondant a lot, but it also works for other sweet pastries. Works like a charm. If you're not gonna cook with cornstarch, use it for another household chore. You can use it to polish your silver. All you do is make a paste with cornstarch and water and rub it on your tarnished silver. This process requires a ton of elbow grease, and silver polish would definitely be faster, but in a pinch, this will work. Before and after. And for my final trick, and moms, I think you'll know what I'm talking about, you can use cornstarch to make homemade slime. even homemade edible slime. Even though you can, doesn't mean you should. So there you have it, 12 great uses for cornstarch. So get that box out of the cabinet and put it to work. Are there any other ingredients sitting in your cabinet that you don't use? Let me know in the comments and I'll teach you how to use it. For more videos like this, don't forget to follow Allrecipes on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. When it comes to using cornstarch, you can cook that. Let me blow your mind by telling you that cornstarch can be a substitute for egg. That's right, you heard it here first. Oh no, did you hear it here first?